What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 46. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and today I am joined by Akuario Beatbox, the OG homie from the stream way back when. How you doing, Akuario?
I'm chilling right now.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, guys, you can catch this podcast live every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern or 9 p.m. Eastern, like today, over here on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. You can go over the following week over on youtube.com, search Enigma9011, where it's broken out topic by topic, or put as one big video for your amusement. If you guys ever have a topic for us that you'd like to discuss, remember you can always put it down in the comment section down below, or you can join us on Discord, and we have a specific tab over there that you can leave your topics as well. And then last thing but not least, remember we're brought to you guys by the merch store. You can get all of your Enigma 911 swag over there, t-shirts, backpacks, cups, and more, so you can help rep the brand, support us. That would be greatly appreciated. So, Akuario, this is your first time on the podcast.
Yes, it is.
And you've been watching the stream, like I said, since way back when.
Maybe 2012, 13 maybe?
Oh, I don't know about that. We're not that old.
No. Wait, hold on. No, yeah, I'm lying too. It's probably like 2015, 16 maybe.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was...
I was like, wait, no.
Gate 3? No, you popped in quick for like a Marvel stream that I was just doing randomly.
Because
Yep.
I was doing research on the game.
Yeah, I remember that. And you're like, oh, what's this, and telling me things. I'm like, oh, okay, and then whoosh, and then you just stuck around, and yeah, I became one of the homies, the OGs, and I appreciate that. So I appreciate being on the podcast today, and glad to get you on finally. So we're gonna talk about a few different things. So I guess kicking off with my topic, my thing is obviously, like I just said, you popped in during Marvel. You're big into fighting games. What first, I guess, would you say got you into fighting games? Like how'd that capture your attention?
Yeah, so it all started when like we back in Mexico, we got like our first gaming console.
Okay.
And my brother's a huge soccer fan, so we had like a lot of soccer games.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like 6 or 7 at the time, so like I really sucked at them. And I was like, yeah, this is not fun, like losing by like 20 goals or something. I'm like, this is not fun.
Yeah.
So you know how like here we have arcade machines, same thing over there, or like arcade places.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing over there. And I don't know, like I just started playing fighting games, and I thought they were like unique to themselves. It's like way different than like a soccer game or like sports game, or like an adventure game. So that really captured my attention. It all started there. Like the very first game that I ever played was called the King of Fighters 2002.
Okay.
And yeah, and since then, like I always liked fighting games. And,
Nice.
Yeah.
So King of Fighters. All right. What would you who'd you rock in King of Fighters 2002?
I would rock what's his name? Oh, this has been so long. Is Yori, what's the other dude? The chick with the lightning power,
Oh, yeah.
The-
I know who you're talking about. I forgot her name
Yeah.
too, but yeah.
the tall dude out of those three. So I would use him, Yori, and then I would pick I would like just pick random.
Okay.
Because I wasn't, yeah. Those were like the only two characters I really liked from that game.
All right. So from King of Fighters, obviously you tried more and more. Which ones would you say you kind of gravitate towards the most? I know you're big into Smash Bros. Are there any other ones that like you really are invested in, I guess would be the right terminology?
Yeah, I think any fighting game that's unique to themselves. So for example, Smash is very different compared to like a Street Fighter or to a Tekken. Like Tekken's also, I also really like it because it's like a 3D fighter. So like there's things you can like evade by just like moving like to the side, and then there's like wall combos or like rage drives. So I would say like the three main would be Smash, Street Fighter, and like Tekken that like I play the most.
Okay, nice. Now I know this has changed over the years, at least since we've been talking. Smash Bros. You can either, if you want to go through all the games and list your mains, but like who do you go with for Smash?
Oh yeah. So Smash 64. I
Mm-hmm.
really hate it. I do not like it. I think it's literally the worst game ever
Mm-hmm.
because you get hit once and you're on hit stun for like 32 years. So you can get comboed like out of one up tilt and you
Mm-hmm.
die. And then there's also no up Bs, so it's really hard to recover.
Yes. Yeah.
But in that game, I played Yoshi
Okay.
because Yoshi's pretty good in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Melee, I've only played like 4 to 5 times. I
Wow. Okay.
never really got into it that much
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a lot of things you have to remember. Like L canceling, wave landing, wave dash, and all that stuff. And at the time, like when I first started playing, like I wasn't really into it. It was just more for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And in that game, I guess this is where I had that what would you call it, like that gravitation towards like good characters.
Yeah.
Because I play Marth,
Mm.
and like we know now that Marth is like top 4, top 5 in that
Right.
game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I started playing Brawl when like 2 years after it came out, and then I'm like, this little dude with the sword looks like a toothpick, Meta Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play him, and turns out he's like the most broken character ever. And but I mean, I just like always really liked the way like his mechanic and just the character in general.
Yeah.
And then Smash 4 came out. I started taking it like more seriously at the time, and I saw Meta Knight, and I'm like, okay, let's try him. And then he wasn't as good,
Mm-hmm.
but later, like 5, 6 months into the game, that we realized that you can do a ladder combo and kill everybody like at 20-30%.
Yeah, I remember
So I
that.
was like, yeah, he's still pretty good. It's time. So I
Uh-huh.
picked him up, and then I saw Zero, a guy from Chile, like
Okay.
who was like the best player in Smash 4.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't play no more. He retired,
Okay.
but he started playing with Diddy Kong, and I'm like, I actually like his playstyle just because you get to throw a banana, really good projectile. His moves are really fast, recovery is really good, and you can like do a lot of mix-ups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of other fighting games, like Marvel, where you have your assist, and you could do like unblockable setups. And I was like, you can treat the bananas that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in this game, I started playing Wolf. Well, I actually started with PT, with Pokemon Trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and she's really good. It's just there's 72 characters, and then Pokemon Trainer is 3 in 1.
Right.
So you have to remember 72 times 3 because that's like all the different matchups. And
Right.
it was a little hard for me at first, but I was like, I'm just gonna switch to another character. So I started playing Wolf because I always like Fox,
Mm-hmm.
but in my opinion, Fox is too fast for me. Or like he's too fast of a character.
Okay.
So I started playing Wolf because I heard that he was good, and then he's really good. And then I was like, okay, this is my character, but I still have like PT, so I still play Pokemon Trainer. Because if anybody knows me, I know Rock T's in here. He knows that I love the Bulbasaur lineup,
Okay.
and like Ivysaur is in there. So I was like, I still need to play Ivysaur.
There you go. There you go. So when it comes to picking a character, what factors kind of weigh in? Because like I know for myself, it's a little bit of like how they look, and then it just kind of comes with like how easy can I pick up on what I want to do, like what combos it or whatever it is, kind of like how it flows. So what would factor into your choosing of characters, I guess?
And it's different in this game.
Mm-hmm.
In Smash 4, since that game was like full of jank,
Mm-hmm.
you would pick a character that could kill people even if they were better than you, just by their jank. So for example, Bayonetta,
Uh-huh.
she came out, she was really broken,
Yeah.
and as she got nerfed in this new game, all the Bayonetta players that were doing well back then, they all quit because
Mm.
they don't have that jank anymore.
Okay.
And so in that game, it was that like I always play Meta Knight, so I was like, this character's really is good. He's good. He has jank, and like I already know how to play him because I play Brawl, so might as well stick with him. And then yeah, so that was in that game. And then in this game, this game is a lot different than Smash 4.
Mm-hmm.
So like you actually have to play a lot of neutral more. So in this game, what I first looked at, it was a character that could control neutral, or I can make my opponent do what I want.
Okay.
So that's when I started watching like videos, and I saw that Wolf with just his laser, he controls the matchup, like like any stock or like any character, he controls the flow of the match.
Mm,
and that's what I like. So I can like make you do things that you might not want to, and I put you in a position where I can like kill you like at 60.
gotcha. Okay.
And then same thing with the Pokemon trainer, because Ivysaur, in my opinion, Wolf and Ivysaur have the best projectile in the game. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay, so it's not just like, I know some people like to look at tier lists and then they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna go this person because they're good. You maybe take that into account, but obviously what the character is able to do.
yeah, like the whole like moveset plus like I thought they were cool, so I
Hmm.
could guess yeah like character design as well.
Okay. Yeah, that was definitely a big reason why in MKX, like, I went with Devora first because she was interesting, but then I dropped her like a bag of bricks. I don't know why, I just didn't stick with her. But Melina was another one. Like, she looked cool. I thought the teeth thing, while spooky, was also a nice design. Um, but yeah, with the MK11's a little bit differently. Obviously, with Melina not being in there, I haven't had the chance to like see like, oh, she's different in this way, similar to 4 to now Ultimate and Smash. But when I was playing that, obviously with the pre-release beta, I thought Jade was cool. I just thought the bow staff techniques were neat, and I was like, okay, I wonder what I could do with that. So I've messed around with her a little bit, but one person I didn't expect to pick up, which has, I guess, quote unquote, become the main just because I've put so much time into him. He's been the majority of the playtime, has been Liu Kang. And in MKX, I had no interest in Liu Kang. I don't know why. I just was like, I don't like your look. I don't like this model design. Whatever. He annoyed the shit out of me with those flying kicks across the screen. And now in MK11, I'm the person doing it. But I don't know. He's just got a good flow for me. And then his strings, I feel, or at least basic strings, I feel can come easily to me, so I can mix it up like, okay, do this one, then do this one, and he's got the range and the fireballs. But range, I like just getting in there and punching people too. I'm more of close range, so characters like Aaron Black and kind of Cassie a little bit in some of her moveset just don't speak to me. But yeah, I don't know, I was really surprised that Liu Kang caught my attention in MK11. But that's interesting to see how, at least from like a competitive mindset, how you've kind of looked at things and how to pick a character and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's also about like, to me in this game, it's about like having more fun than it was in 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because in 4, I thought it was more of a quote unquote a job
Okay.
than it was like just a game.
Uh-huh.
And now, like out of all the 72 characters, there's only 2 characters I have fun with. Like I've actually like on release date, I tried every character,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like Meta Knight. Let's go with Meta Knight and Didi because like I played them in 4,
Yep.
and then I'm like nah, they changed too much. I don't like them. They don't feel good to me no more. So and then I just kept playing, and I'm just like, yeah, I think it's gonna have to be Pokemon Trainer at first, and then I picked the Wolf after that.
Okay. Okay. So earlier you're talking about like your move sets for your characters. You talked about like up tilt and B and neutral game and stuff like that. So I know like either casual fighting game fans or non-fighting game fans, that's a lot of it's pretty much another language that, you know, we're talking with that. Um, just briefly, I guess, to kind of catch people up with that. So think of it like a sports terminology, I guess you could say. There's
Hmm.
always terms and things that refer to other things. Like obviously basketball's got their own thing, soccer's got their own thing, football's got their own thing, but they all have these little intricate details that kind of explain what's going on or what they're trying to do. It's the same thing with fighting games. There is a fighting game language, and I think that is another big variable, I guess you could say, that maybe why fighting games aren't like the biggest group. Like it's definitely a big group, but I know why it's hard to get into. Maybe that's the right way to put it. Because I remember old streams too. You were telling me how to do combos, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying or what to do. So for the non-fighting game fans, that's pretty much just what that means with like tilt and dash and neutral and up this, like whatever. It's just how the character moves, how the character acts, and like similar to sports or a chess game, how the pieces kind of go together in order to get what you want to come out of it. So you said when you first popped into Marvel, you're kind of studying it, and I'm sure you've studied Smash and a lot and other fighting games that you're interested into. How did you learn all the terminologies of tilt, or like how'd you learn the ins and outs of your characters and how to, I guess, benefit yourself with what they can do?
Yeah. So for example, in Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
in Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom, I wasn't like 'cause I already had like experience in Smash,
Yep.
so I was like, the terminology shouldn't be that different, but you'd be surprised, it's actually pretty different
Yep.
from fighting game to fighting game. So like you pop up, like let's say you're like a casual or whatever, or like me, even like that I don't play other fighting games,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching like a tournament for like Unist, the new fighting game that came out, the
Right.
new anime fighting game,
Yep.
and they're like down to age, and I'm like, okay, I can picture that in my head with like Tekken.
Mm-hmm.
But like they start saying like other moves, and I'm just like, okay, I need to learn what that means, because
Yeah.
I'm lost. So for example, in Marvel, like light, medium, heavy, that's standard for most fighting games.
Yep.
So I one of the ways that I was able to learn and I was able to understand was just like watching videos,
Mm-hmm.
like more tutorials than anything. So for example, when I was playing Smash and I started like just like beginnings, like starting to get into competitive, I watched a lot of Zero, and he would use all these terms, and I'm like, I wonder what they mean. And then I met this channel who is run by this really good player from New Jersey. His name is False,
Okay.
and he makes guides on Smash and just like the terminology and explaining what it is. And that's when I started to like understand all this like all these different terms, and how I could use it to like just search that up, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 So for example, neutral, it's like the interaction between the opponent and yourself, and what you do, before like engaging in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. Like, running around, jumping, throwing if you have a projectile, or shielding, or trying to grab and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just more of like watching videos in tournaments and listening to the commentators, and me applying it to my own gameplay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, because I remember back to MKX. This was another one that was like, MKX was like, I started getting serious. No, I was just trying to learn more and more. So when I revisited Marvel 3, like paying attention to those things, like you said, because other than that, it was, yeah, I'm just going to hit these buttons and hopefully it looks cool and I win. But yeah, I've been slowly kind of picking up on things, but I can relate with the video, like watching something and picking up on it. Because with MKX, I did that with Molina. I saw Unruly, Kenny. He was a Molina main, and just watching what he did in his combo strings, I was like, oh, let's try it. No. Oh, dropped it. No. Okay, he's doing that. Oh, okay. And then slowly picking it up. And then just by watching Maximilian, and just over and over again, like obviously he's very knowledgeable in fighting games and across the board, but listening to how he talks, like meaties, mid, this, that, neutral, blah, blah, like, okay, like I might not understand it 100% every time, but I'm slowly like picking up on, oh, this means this, or these things are important to, watch out for, or whatever it is. So, okay. Yeah, so pretty much just like you said, watching videos, it seems to help in a way. Just like how everybody learns differently. Like some people need to just tactile do it over and over again and it'll make sense, while others are visual and audio and all that yada yada learning stuff. So
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting to hear, because I remember once again us talking numerous times over fighting games how you were just working combos over and over again, like trying to figure out like what would work for your characters in Marvel, or whatever game you were playing. And I know that would work for you sometimes too. But cool, good to hear the videos work for you. For anybody who wants to kind of learn more about it, it's the same thing with Overwatch too. With Overwatch League, like you said, the commentators in fighting games kind of explain things or say what's going on. That's how I feel in Overwatch League, even though I'm kind of like half paying attention, having it on the side, but understanding like slowly more meta of that game and what to look out for or what to focus on or what the teams are focusing on. It's just another layer of like how you can learn about the game to enjoy it, and it's neat. Let's see. So I guess only. Okay, I got it. So I noticed on Twitter you talk a lot about like people getting into fighting games, and sometimes how it can be tough, like new people, how they complain about stuff. What would you recommend to somebody playing a fighting game so maybe they don't get frustrated and leave, or like how could they get better, I guess?
Yeah, I get this question a lot too. Like here in my university, when I go to like my friends' apartments and stuff like that, they ask me, "Yo, how did you get so good? How do you know when to do this and that?" Like it just seems like you're like way, like above our level or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the best way to think about it is that you're not born taught to do something. It's like, when you're trying to learn how to ride a bike, you're not gonna do like as you pick up the bike, like, it's gonna take time,
Right.
and that's like with everything. And like going back to what you said a few minutes ago, that like all the terminology with the just with fighting games, or like just fighting games in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got to this level. Like I don't want to say I'm like super good,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm a mid-level player. Um, it's because I really like to play chess,
Mm-hmm.
and in fighting games, it's about chess. For example, in Smash, you grab. How do you counter a grab? Well, you just jab, so they don't grab you.
Mm-hmm.
Or how do you counter a jab? You just shield. So like in my head, it's a lot of like rock paper scissors, and just in like in chess, like, okay, my opponent just grabbed the ledge. Like, is he gonna jump? Is he gonna roll? If he's gonna stand? And then, like, for example, you have a character with a projectile. Let's use Diddy with his banana.
Mm-hmm.
I can put the banana right on, like, at the edge of the stage, and it's gonna catch if he gets up regular, and it's gonna hit him if he tries to jump. So I already covered two options. So it's like thinking ahead of what like the other person might do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my best advice to give to people that are getting into fighting games would be to don't give up. Everything in life is not easy. Everything is hard. Try to look up just like videos in general, or like just watch other people that are better than you play. And if you have the time, or you have like the resources to record your matches in
Mm-hmm.
whatever game you're playing, watch them and ask yourself, why am I getting hit? Why was I put in this position? Why is my opponent getting hit? Why did why did I drop this? Why was it that he did this instead of that? And just like being like just going back and forth between your mentality and what your opponent might be thinking really helps out a lot. And just also asking people like, yo, can you review this set, or can you, watch me play and tell me what I'm doing wrong?
Right.
And yeah, just like finding people with your own interest, and it's not only fun, but it's also a really good experience, and you can just get better
Yeah.
just by
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah.
I 100% agree. Yeah, being patient. I know I've gone online a few times. Like, I realize I'll do better if I'm more patient with myself and watching what the opponent is doing, and either reacting to it or just noticing patterns. Like, oh, this person likes to do this a lot, so watch out for that. If he does this, then you know that's coming up, and then you can capitalize it and punish it. And then I agree also with your point heavily of like find other people that like doing what you like doing, because that's how you get better. I mean, whenever I've played fighting games with somebody in the same room, even if it's their first time playing it, like you give them a little while. Like I'm going to use my cousin TJ in North Carolina as a big example. There was one summer I brought my PS4 down there, and we played, I think it was Dragon Ball Fighters. So Dragon Ball Fighters, it was his first time playing that, and like after a while, like he was picking up on things, but like the matches would go, like it could go either way between him and I, and it was the same with MKX because he bought that on a whim when I was down there visiting at one point. But having that person who, not necessarily like you guys want to go to the top and go to Evo and go to compete or whatever, but just having somebody who's genuinely having a good time with it and wants to play, sometimes that can be the best. You push each other to get better and better. And even online too. Obviously, you have the capabilities of that. Akuario and I have done that numerous times with Smash. I mean, did I get frustrated after a while? Yeah, because I sucked. But there was a couple times with Cloud. There were some close calls. But you find those people. You patient with yourself, and yeah, whether it's fighting games or anything in general, like Akuario said, you can do it. Just got to keep pushing.